exactly what it will for.
So, motion is we're gonna do a staff report on cost of I guess it's a start for signage for the next year's season. And it would work together with partnerships.
By the end of December, right?
Okay? Counselor Scott?
The report is going to include the rest of our signage, or just this is just temporary?
I think this is looking after this to start with, because the other's a bigger
What are we
budget
going
item.
to do if there are more one-ups?
Well, then we'll do another one off.
Okay.
Something else to add to the motion?
No, I've already done my second.
Don't waste your 7 points.
It's just, we do have a motion on the books for a report as well. Yeah,
On wayfinding
This is a
signs,
one-off.
over top
yeah,
of it.
this is a one-off, and
Yeah.
this is fine. Don't lose sight of that other one.
All in favor of that? Carried. Okay. 8.2. We have a report on our market review of salaries and pay updates. There's a summary at the bottom. If we approve this, no one changes jobs, it just changes the grid. Everyone is where they're at, bringing the grid up to modernizing. Deputy Mayor Dak.
This is a motion that if you refer to budget.
Second.
Okay. Moved and seconded, we referred to budget. I guess I'm wondering, Councilor Ullman.
I guess my question is, through you to the CAO, the change in the grid isn't going to involve any salary increase.
No.
So is it a budget item? I mean, ultimately, any increase, any future increases would be, but the particular grid adjustment, I mean, it can be a discussion when at budget time if you like, but there's no impact on increasing salaries here. We're just looking at a grid adjustment and then positioning current staff on the grid, right?
I'd like the CAO to speak to it. Quick, please.
I have no problem with referring it to the budget. As I said, the intent was to assess our salary grid against the market, and it's pretty darn close to the market, pretty online. Council can certainly have further discussions strategically about what the implications are at budget time. It's not an issue.
Councilor Scott.
I think anything to do with the dollar will be good at a budget time, because we'll have everything sitting there in front of us of what we've got going. This was a great report. It was well done, and I think we can have discussion at it as the time we go to decide salaries.
Okay. I made the motion. Speak to it again.
Yes, 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 it is correct that it doesn't make an instant change to the salaries, but it is an instant change in March of 2013 if, with your annual performance reviews, according to this report. And so, and the budget would make provisions for it automatically if we approved it at this point. But if we have it as a discussion point at the budget, it's not automatically included, is my understanding, because we would have to accept it, and then it would be integrated into the budget. Am I correct? Is that correct? If we approve it right now, then it's automatically going to be factored into the budget. But if, and then they'll, because in 2013, March 2013, it'll be.
Really, it's simply a tool for you to manage, to have that overview of your municipal operations. It doesn't get automatically rolled into any budget calculations. We need to have that discussion with council about what its objectives are. But this is, as I said, the purpose of the study and the purpose of the grid was to compare our setup against what the market is. And that's basically all it's telling you. And the consultant basically said, you're pretty much online, and identified some issues with respect to the management group and the building inspector and how those might be addressed. And we can engage council in those discussions, but it doesn't automatically do anything. So I'm comfortable with council referring it to the budget, and we can have further discussions on it, because this was to give you a snapshot of how we compared. It was also to address the pay equity issue in brief. So.
Although your report does say provision is made in the budget to accommodate the change in
Well,
the grid,
Yeah,
so,
we're not,
so you're
we're not at the budget
anticipating
preparation stages, and so when we get to, as we formulate the budget, we have to have that dialogue with council about what its overall objectives are in terms of tax impacts or other impacts. And so part of that discussion will also include cost of living adjustments or any other financial adjustments that might impact staff. So that would be part of the kind of the budget preparation discussions and directions from council.
Thank you.
Okay. All in favor, referring to the budget? Carried. Thank you. Report 70, this is the strategic plan update, strategic directions. This is from last Tuesday meeting. This is the
Move to accept it. It's well done, captures everything, and get it up on the website ASAP.
Second.
second by Councilor Underwood. Questions, comments? All in favor? Carried. And the multifunction. Their malfunction, the guy was there today and copier didn't work when he left.
Oh, no.
This is a copier lease renewal. We're recommending copiers for a 5-year period. Provides cost and savings as well. Councilor Rowe?
Move the recommendation in the last sentence of the report.
Second by Deputy Mayor Dick. Councilor Scott?
Is this a large increase over the last one, or
Oh, it's a significant decrease.
Decrease.
decrease? Okay.
Estimated cost savings to municipality over a 5-year term, close to $10,000 annually.
Yes, but that didn't say that we paid less last year, that it just says that we saved some money.
Deputy Mayor?
Yeah, actually, this is a really dramatic savings, and I was just reading to see, I was just wondering whether we investigate these provincial vendor of record options on all of our purchases, because this is
Well,
bad,
yeah,
fantastic.
it really is. I can't think of his name now, the county, but I did talk to Ron Van Horn about their process and whether they use the vendor of record process as well, and they're starting to use it at the county level. This is our first experience with it, because it kind of falls outside of our normal process. We usually request proposals and you get local, and some of the small market people. But this is an ideal process where it's vetted by the province. You get those economies of scale. And as we sat talking to the two suppliers,
Yes.
we just scratched our heads, and this is the price of the equipment itself is really dropping dramatically, but it's a very competitive. They're looking for the economies of scale, and it works in our favor.
Just a quick question, because I think these are having an impact on copiers. Through you to John, are we getting charged on our service per copy? I remember when I was in the old public sector days, and being in post-secondary, right, you're running off 1 million copies a day, and the service bills were just horrendous. So I guess by reducing the volume, we're probably catching savings there too, aren't we?
It's right on the report here.
On the spreadsheet, it shows you the cost for black and white and through color, and they're quite good as well. As much as we talk about a paperless society, it's really not reality for us. As you see, particularly the only upgrade that's happening in this is upgrading the Northville. We used to rely on Forest supplying that kind of large print volume for Northville, but they're a printing operation too with their newsletters and stuff. So it's a good fit for them.
Excellent.
Okay, any other questions? All in favor of that? Carried.